What's up, y'all? It's me, Erica. It's kind of shaky. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody had a great weekend. We're going to get right into the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I took so many notes because I watched it several times because there was a lot of, like, little things that was going on that I didn't catch the first time, that I caught the second time, and I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and take notes, because I did tweet live while it was on, but then, like, you know, like when I watched it again, I didn't notice that Miss Juicy was at the baby shower. There was a lot of little things that I didn't notice, and I have a lot of notes, so this is gonna be probably a long video. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Hit the notification bell twice. We get down in the comments and we discuss what's going on. Overall, it was a very interesting episode. It was at times hard to watch. We can just talk about it. I'm trying to save my little notes here on Twitter, but I'm going to use most of my notes that I wrote down. So all right. Yeah. I just want to say first and foremost that the treatment that Kenya is receiving at the hands of a person who, you know, she married, I don't find anything funny about it. I don't take joy in it. I think it's really sad. I don't think that she deserves any of that treatment. I don't think that anyone deserves, you know, pain, especially, you know, at the hands of their partner. You know, I don't know. And you know, and that's just what it is. I found it disgusting. I found Mark's behavior absolutely turned my stomach. Like, I didn't find anything funny about what he was doing. I didn't think that he was I think that he is an awful representation of a married black man while you're up there doing a black man's lab. Look at how you're treating your partner with whom this event would not have gone off without. I thought that was fucked up, but what are you gonna do? Eva had her baby shower. It was cute, sunflower theme. We thought it was very cute. I'm just really gonna get into what the notes that I wrote. Nene shades Eva for not having a house. Didn't you just apologize? I just don't. And we can get on Nene later, but you know, they're standing there. Nene shades Eva about her house. They recap what went on with the bowling situation and how Kenya was acting. Nene starts talking about Kenya to Shamia, Portia, and Tanya. And, you know, Portia tries to kind of play it off like, you know, yeah, you know, I think she's submissive around him. And then even they cut to a clip of Portia and Dennis talking, and Portia saying, well, you know, it probably won't be any problems because the women are around their husbands, which proves to me, you know, women do act different in front of their partners. People act different in front of their partners than they do with their friends. So when Portia said that, I was like, okay, she gets she understands it. Flip to Eva's baby shower when she was trying to be like, you know, it didn't seem like she was talking down about Kenya. She just says, yeah, she seems like she's submissive. Even how she was talking about her to Kandi, it wasn't the same energy with Nene. I don't know if anyone noticed that. But then Nene says, yeah, I know what submissive looks like, but she's not herself. Now, yes, she's right. We know what submissive looks like. We know what an unbalanced submissiveness how it's demonstrated. We've seen it. And I think when people hear that, submitting, that's a weird word to use as we've progressed in society, but whatever. I agree with Nene, but Nene wasn't coming from a good place. She was just gossiping. Like, girl, she don't seem, she's not herself. And then she said something about they go and sit down, and she was speaking about Kenya not being able to take things. She could dish it, but she can't take it. I don't know what Nene was talking about. Nene says that she extended several olive branches to Kenya. And we see 2 text messages. I see a text message April 17th that said, mentioned Kim Porter, mentioned Nipsey. Then I saw a message underneath it. She didn't even talk about that, but that was a Happy Mother's Day message. So Nene, she is showing us that she, reached out to Kenya. But do y'all see why Kenya doesn't respond to Nene? Because look how Nene talks about her. Nene is not her friend. I think, anyone could see what she's trying to do. Based on her behavior, how she was acting on Watch What Happens Live last night, I would not respond to Nene either. I don't give a damn how many. You could extend a whole tree, bitch. I don't want to be your friend. I don't give a damn who. Have you guys ever been in a situation where someone has extended an olive branch to you and you weren't ready to take it? Okay. Apply it here. Because I don't blame Kenya at all. Kenya arrives. Everybody's like, hey, girl, hey. Honey, did you guys see Nene chewing in the camera? That shit was so funny to me. I was like, Nene is a fucking trip. And then so they eating Caribbean food. And they're like, oh, Kenya, your man would be happy about this. She was like, yeah, he's already complaining, because I didn't have food ready for him. So then Tanya goes, yeah, that's the second next thing to I love you is saying, what do you want to eat? And then they cut to Kenya's interview, which I was disappointed. And she says, I'm sure that Tanya doesn't have enough on her plate being a fiance and I have a husband. I said, I'm sorry, Phaedra? Is that Phaedra? Like, I was like, Kenya, don't be that bitch. I cannot. That's the one thing that I hate about marriage and women getting married, is that you throw up this title in somebody's face like it means anything. It doesn't mean anything. Look how your husband is treating you, Kenya. So I wouldn't give a damn if he was a fiance, boyfriend, partner, spouse, whatever you want to call him. But it don't make Mark any better. It don't make you no better than to make a distinction because you want to say that you have a husband and Tanya has a fiance. And somehow that's different. Now I know, because nobody's saying anything about Tanya being engaged for 8 years. Now nobody's saying anything like that. If Kenya was engaged for 8 years, baby, honey, y'all would be talking cash money shit about that girl. You would be talking cash money shit about her. If Kenya was 8 years in, engaged to Mark, y'all would have something to say. I'm just saying. I think it is odd that a woman is engaged for 8 years. Now, if they hold the sanctity of marriage with great value, that's a long time. If it's someone who doesn't give a damn whether they get married or not, that's fine. But if you're a woman who puts a lot of value in marriage, as it seems that the women in this group does, 8 years is a long time. I'm surprised no one hasn't shaded Tanya about that. Anyways, I didn't like Kenya's display of the husband versus fiance. It reminded me of Phaedra Parks. I didn't like it. You didn't like it when Phaedra used to do that shit to you. Her husband was a piece of shit, like your husband is a piece of shit. One is a fraudulent piece of shit, and the other one is an arrogant piece of shit. So the niggas ain't no different. Dennis ain't no different. Greg Leaks ain't no different. Marlo don't have a man. She's saying last night, Kenya can't keep a man. saying, and then made a suggestion that Kenya paid for Mark to be there at his own event. Girl, that was a fool. Anyway, so they go inside for the games, and they're playing games. They doing this bottle sucking game. And I know y'all heard Kandi talk about her being the biggest freak. Kandi looks like she lays dead, like a cold fish in bed. That's what she gives me. Kandi doesn't give me freak. Kandi doesn't give me none of that. I don't know where. I understand like the monetization of the bedroom Kandi, the dungeon and all that other stuff, but she don't give me freak in the sheets. She doesn't. They start sucking the bottle. Portia, Marlo goes to Portia, you know how I taught you? Now they do this toilet paper dress thing. Now I don't know if anybody noticed, but Kenya was yelling and taunting at Tanya. Did y'all notice that? Then when Kenya was up there with her model, Nene was talking shit and taunting Kenya. Did y'all notice that? And then I noticed, let me tell you something, then I noticed when Kenya said to Tanya when they were outside, and this insincere apology that Kenya said she gave to, the sincere apology that Kenya said she gave to Tanya, girl. But did y'all notice when Kenya said, just like I'm being the bigger person with Nene, so you want Tanya to be the bigger person with you, because you've clearly, to me, you have clearly set up who is, you feel is a threat to you. You feel that Tanya is a threat to you. That's what I got from it, because I noticed that, and I was like, why is Kenya saying, oh, Tanya's dress is this and Tanya's dress is that? And then when Kenya gets up there, Nene doing the same exact thing to Kenya. I don't know if y'all noticed that. Anyway, they're leaving the baby shower. Kandi says, let's talk. And Kandi essentially invites Tanya to the black man's lab. And Kandi says, maybe we can put the cunt behind us. And then, let me turn the heater off. And then Kenya says, I'm putting my pride and ego aside. And Tanya says, it's unlikely that Paul will attend, which I don't blame her. I don't blame Paul. I don't want to be around, first of all, I don't want to be around none of you bitches and y'all bringing side chicks around. Like, goddamn, can a nigga try to cheat in peace? Can a nigga try to cheat in peace? Obviously you can't, with the cookie lady being right next door to Cynthia's other business. Cynthia been knew that lady. She been knew it. I don't care. So she said, for some frivolous claim, and then Kenya says, to you, Kenya, see, that's not an apology. Just like, I don't know, it was an apology. Then they flip and they show Kenya saying to Tanya, I really want to apologize for calling you out of your name. And then Tanya's like, yeah, because that was like shocking. And she's like, well, that's never happened. And then Kenya goes, what you mean to tell me you 40 years old and never been called out your name? I've never been called that. And then Kenya says, well, I've never used it before. I told y'all Kenya ain't never called nobody a cunt before. That was something specifically for Tanya. It was. She knew that Tanya was going to feel some kind of way. And again, which also proves black women, I don't care, y'all can act like y'all so, fucking offended by it. We don't use that to insult each other. Never have. I've never heard it in my life. Never heard it. White women, yes. Black women, they'd be like, cunt, girl, what are you talking about? What does that even mean? Now, if you black British, you might use it out there because they use cunt a lot out there. That's how they talk about something cunt. You might, if you West Indian, you might say cunt. But black Americans, we don't use that to insult each other. We don't. So when Kenya said that, I knew that it was specifically for Tanya. That's not something you say. And it's not. And when she said that was the first time I've said it, I believed her. Kenya's apology was not sincere to Tanya. you know, just like I'm seeing the bigger picture with Nene, you want Tanya to see the bigger picture with you. And I was with Tanya. You want me to use my fiance's good name for a man that you just married to do a benefit, and he don't even live down here? No, he's not coming. Well, the truth is, Tanya says, and later lies, and the truth is, I'm just going to tell Paul. The truth is, I'll invite him. Later, she says she didn't even tell him. So, what is the truth, Tanya, Sam? And then Kenya says, if she doesn't, now this is where the gaslighting comes in. If she doesn't want to tell her husband or her fiance about this important event to help black men, that tells you exactly who Tanya Sam is. No, it doesn't, Kenya. It tells us that Tanya's not with your shit, and neither is Paul. He doesn't want to be around you hoes. And then even Kandi said, so is he just at the point where he doesn't want to be around us? And I said, him and Mark don't want to be around you bitches. They don't want to be around the drama. They don't want to be around it. Him and Mark. Ironically, Paul don't want to be around the women, and neither does Mark Daly. He made that very clear and let everybody know. It's not just Kenya. He don't want to be around none of you hoes. So while y'all reveling in the fact that he's treating Kenya so poorly, he thinks the same of, he thinks y'all full of drama. And he doesn't want to be around you. He doesn't want to be around the cameras. You wait till I break his shit down. I don't know what's up with these stupid ass transitions, these songs that they got playing. I'm a diva and I went down the street. I got in the shower. I didn't miss a beat. What's going on with the songs in the middle of the show? I didn't understand. Transitioning. Kenya is the party planner. They show her being the party planner. So it does make sense for Mark to thank her. Thank my wife as a black man. I am supported and uplifted and encouraged by my wife. Being a black man, a strong black man, when you have a wife, you support her, you show her that she lifts you up. Whatever. He could have said anything about Kenya. And the simple fact that she planned everything and we got footages to show that she did, a simple thank you would have sufficed. Now, based on what Kenya said and what Cynthia said, he did not thank her. Now we can say, oh, they didn't show it. It wasn't. He didn't thank her. So Cynthia said it, and what's the other one's name? Kenya. She said it. So he didn't. It would have made sense for him to thank her and then to tie that in. And like Kenya said, this is the perfect moment as a black man in the black man's lab to thank your partner, the person who helped you do this, the person behind you that helped you run this or get this event planned. You wait till I get on Mark. Kandi is doing some acting lessons. She's playing a soft stud. Come on, soft stud. She playing a soft stud in The Shy. I don't know if the episode has aired yet. Y'all let me know if y'all seen Kandi and how she does. You know, I'm never here for Kandi. I'm not here for Kandi. Can y'all tell that I don't like Kandi Burris? Can y'all tell? Can y'all? Because y'all want me to talk about Kenya so bad. Can y'all tell I don't like Kandi? I talk about Kandi. I say, but I don't need to drag Kandi. Ooh, the way Rodney dragged Portia on that damn review of the last episode, baby. When I say he dragged the shit out of Portia, and I like Portia. What? I can't tell, nigga. That's you. I said, you didn't have to drag Portia like that. He dragged the hell out of Portia, y'all. But I don't like Kandi. I don't care for Kandi. I think Kandi has been full. The videos of me and Nate from when we used to review Housewives 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago, every episode I told you I did not like Kandi. I could not stand Portia. Portia has grown on me. She has grown on me. Even though I still find her, less than smart, as Wendy says. I do find her less than smart at times. But she grew on me. When I saw her at the reunion, because I didn't watch last season. I watched the Tokyo episode so I could see Eva drag the shit out of Marlo. And then I watched the episode where the only time they could ever have a natural hair day is when Kenya Moore is not casted that season, but I'll digress. And I saw that episode, and then I saw the reunion, and that's when I started liking Portia at the reunion, how she just let Nene have it. Like, I'm not gonna leave here without saying you are a bad friend. And she just and she doesn't understand what is Nene said she doesn't understand why she needed to apologize to Portia and why she needed to apologize to Eva. She didn't understand that. Girl, that girl is crazy. Anyways, so Kandi's gonna be a soft stud, and we gonna see how. But did you hear her say that Todd wants to be in control? It's always the niggas who don't have shit, and I'm glad that they showed that clip of her reminding Todd, don't act like you're more accomplished than me. Let me let you know. Because yes, we talk about the fragile masculine ego, the fragile male ego. We talk about that. Women have fragile egos too. We do, and in some cases. But I'm glad when some women aren't afraid to remind their husbands in lieu of their fragile ego, hey, listen, don't get funny, because I don't act like you're more accomplished than me. Don't even try it. Just because you have a penis doesn't mean you running shit. We're partners around here. But you see Kandi, I wonder if anybody noticed that Kandi said that Todd is controlling. Okay? Todd is controlling. And I don't know if you ever heard Kandi say that Todd and Mark, they're the same. They got a lot of ways that are alike. Okay? Todd just has enough sense because he could get put out. Todd has enough sense not to do it in front of everybody, because his ass can get put out, okay? Mark got his own shit. So Kandi says she needs to show Todd to be more supportive and not that it's just one-sided. Cynthia and Kenya meet. Kenya is perplexed by the sangria in the bottle. I was here, I died. She was like, in a bottle? Because typically sangria is made, homemade. It being in a bottle is kind of weird. I thought it was funny. Cynthia starts talking about Mike and saying that they had a big fight and they want to go to counseling. And Kenya is giving, it's so funny how the advice that we can give our friends and then realize that, you know, sometimes, that's why I always say, like, sometimes you got to step outside of yourself so that you can give yourself advice from the outside looking in, because Kenya gave Cynthia some really good advice. And I love how she said, let's just take our husbands out of it, because I don't want you to think that, one, I'm comparing our relationships or that I'm talking about Mike. I thought that was very good. And to say, okay, people who cheat lie. Now, can you trust that? Are you going to be able to trust that he's telling you the right thing? Kenya says she's never lied to Mark. Cynthia says, is it reciprocal? She says, no, people in hell want ice water, but do they get it? So we're getting a whole idea of what Kenya is going, what's happening with Kenya. They get on Kenya. Kenya tries to stop Cynthia from saying, you know, talking about it. And then Cynthia says something that was very important. You know, no, I just want to talk about this, and I appreciate you being transparent. That's why I think that they are really friends, because you know that, yes, we are friends here and we talk off camera, but the camera is right here, and I appreciate you being transparent and talking about this. That makes a person feel comfortable and more than likely willing to share a little bit more. Kenya says that her fights with Mark she avoids fights, and this is what typically happens in a narcissist codependent relationship. The person does things in order to please the person so that they do not have fights with the person. And this person knows that. So it's used in a way to control. And then she says, and he gets mad and it makes me feel crazy, which is what you hear when people are constantly being gaslit. That's something that they will say. He makes me feel like I'm crazy, or she makes me feel like I'm crazy, because they do things and then you do things in a passive aggressive way. Because I believe that Kenya was late to Mark's thing. I believe that was passive aggressive. Come on, bitch. I believe she did that on purpose because she doesn't want to fight outwardly. She does things passive aggressively to get back at him, because when they do fight, according to Kenya, he wants to basically burn the town down, and he goes for the jugular. He goes and he gets. Now people are saying Kenya deserves that because she's like that with other women. I'm sorry, but I don't think that it's fair to compare a relationship with a woman's husband to her relationship with her friends. I don't get, and y'all know how I feel about the marriage thing and all that bullshit. None of your married asses can sit up here and say that you treat your husband the same way that you treat your friends. Y'all not gonna get in the comments and lie just because you want. Now that's being biased. That's being biased, not being able to admit, yeah, you know what Kenya, now you don't like Kenya and you can't agree with nothing she does, even if it goes against what, that's being biased, even if it goes against what you really understand and what you believe. Everybody knows that's not right. Everybody knows. You don't talk to your husband the same way you talk to your girlfriends. Now, if Kenya's karma is because of how she treats other women, is how she's being treated as a woman in her relationship, y'all can have that. Y'all can, rationalize that in that way, that she's getting karma. Fine. That's what you want to say, whatever. But what she does is to avoid fighting, because he likes to cut her throat off. He likes to slit her damn throat, she said. They fight really bad. They've not been to counseling. She's never lied to him. They are in a narcissistic, codependent relationship. You can see it when she comes in with the ties. You can see that. And I didn't lie. I'm just telling you, just like in that push-pull relationship that a codependent and a narcissist has, is that nothing, it's always you pulling and them pushing, right? It's always you're wrong, I'm right, I never see why I'm wrong, and if I am wrong, it's your fault. I did tell you that. I told you that 3 days ago. No, you didn't. You told me this morning. Oh, well, you just didn't hear me. That is her being gaslit right there. And that just small thing like that. No, and now all of a sudden, now you're going to be punished because he said he told you 3 days ago. And you said you didn't hear that he told you this morning. So now you're going against him. And so what's going to happen is he's not going to talk to her. And then she's going to be trying to figure out what she did wrong. And afraid to ask because she wants to avoid conflict. So what can I do to kind of get back at him? Let me be late. Kenya's not here yet? Nope. Oh, she's getting glammed up. She got the whole glam team. Y'all didn't even arrive together. Why? In the meantime, before that, Kenya is telling everybody, well, to him and the viewers, we're a couple. We need to be dressed. We need to match. We're a couple. This is your event. But you let him arrive by himself. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. Well, I just don't understand why he's upset. She is in a codependent, unhealed person in a relationship with an unhealed person who was wounded, both wounded in their childhood. Kenya took the role of the pleaser instead of taking the role of the narcissist, because narcissistic behavior starts it comes from how the parent treated the child. Did they see the child? Were they there for the child? Did they acknowledge the child? And one takes an approach of, okay, what I'm going to do is sit in the back. I'm going to give people hell and not let anyone see me. That's the reason why Mark doesn't want to be on camera. He can't even keep his face straight. His face all contorted every time Kenya asks him a question. That's the reason why Mark doesn't want to be on camera. Because he is a narcissist and he doesn't want his behaviors exposed. See, what you're supposed to do is like Mark and think that Kenya is crazy. But he's so arrogant that he can't even treat her the way that he's treating her for everybody to see. He can't even do it in private. Like controlling ass Todd, who is similar, who him and Mark have similar ways. Right? He can't even handle it, that he has to treat this woman like that in front of people, to break down who she is, because he knows that in this group, this woman is a strong person. This is what a narcissist does. That is exactly what Mark is displaying. I'm going to break her down in front of people who she should be in a different position. I'm gonna pull rank, because I know that she's not going to want to fight with me in public. And so she is going to comply and do everything I ask her to do. And she's going to shut up. If y'all think that that's okay for a man or a person to be doing that to a person, y'all crazy as hell. Does a good man cheat? Hurt cheaters, or are you hurt? Are you going to be hurt by his cheating? This is Kenya giving Cynthia advice. These are two girlfriends talking. Can Kenya give advice? Yes, she can. She chose a person who she thought she knew. She thought, and she even said, we were together so quick and I wanted him to marry me. I know that people would think that it was crazy. Then she says, there's a lot of things that are happening that I didn't anticipate. And let me tell y'all something. There are a lot of women and men who willingly walk down an aisle into a toxic marriage. You're not going to act like Kenya Moore is the first one. We're not going to act like it. We're not going to act like these conversations between girlfriends don't happen. I really thought it was important for them to show that. Come on, girl, what the f*** are you doing? God damn. I want my fairy tale. Like I said on Twitter last night, Kenya girl, sister, sis, don't lose your edges for a fairy tale, girl. You and Portia both about to lose your damn hair for a fairy tale. You and Portia both for a fairy tale. Y'all sitting up there, can't go to work, crying. Dennis is out laying in between other women's legs. Mark is out here disrespecting you, trying to knock you off your peg. And y'all, because y'all want the fairy tale. So much so, Kenya, you talking shit to Tanya like, you got a fiance, I got a husband. What the fuck is a husband when he's treating you like shit? What the fuck? He ain't no good. I wouldn't claim to have a husband who treated me like that. Y'all get so happy. My husband, and I'm Mrs. Daly. Honey, I wouldn't, Mrs. Daly for what? Why are you even claiming that? That man is awful to you. Why? She's so happy. You can tell Kenya Portia wants that dumb shit. That you went out and just picked any old person that you didn't even fucking know. And Mark, yes, Mark might be attractive. But look at him. Look at his behavior. He can't even keep a straight face without going against Kenya. Everything she's asking, he wants to go against. His face all contorted and twisted up. Fucking narcissist. What you're watching, and I hope people understand that. Outside of what you believe about that woman's character or who she is or what she deserves, don't nobody deserve to be treated like that. Nobody. I can't stand Kandi, and I would hate to see that raggedy ass man treating her like that. I don't give a damn. I don't care. I think it's awful. I think he is an awful person.